Good afternoon, Hauppauge High School community. Welcome to another edition of Hauppauge Happenings. Happy Valentine's Day as we're recording this today on Thursday, February 14th. And that gives me a chance a little bit to talk about what makes me so happy to be here at Hauppauge. And two moments in particular I wanted to talk with you about two things happened over the last week that made me tremendously proud and really feeling lucky about being here at Hauppauge. Last week, Friday night, there was the annual Acoustic Cafe. And it was my first time in the experience, and I watched as about just over a dozen individual students performed at Acoustic Cafe, and there were probably about 100 or so people participating as fans or as admirers at the event. And I was blown away by the level of talent that was in the room, by the level of dedication there is into the craft of individuals kind of putting their all into making sure that they can perform at a really high level. There were original performances, there were performances from Broadway plays, there were performances of cover songs. It was really just a tremendous event. It made me really proud, really excited to be here and recognize just what a special place it is and what special kids we have here. And then the second moment was a really different type of moment. And so between periods 8 and 9 today, we had a moment of silence to recognize the victims of the Parkland shooting about a year ago. And I challenged our student body to walk through the hallways silently between periods 8 and 9 and reflect upon the type of community that we have, the ways in which they can engage with each other and really support one another to even greater degree. And while we weren't 100% silent, on the whole, the transition between 8th and 9th period was an incredible thing to see. And as students maybe forgot for a moment that they shouldn't be talking or that they should be considering something else, all it took was a quick from a staff member, and people met the expectation to an extraordinary degree. And it made me understand here that if we challenge students appropriately, that we put a really clear reason for why we're asking them to do something, that they meet the challenges. And not only did it make me proud to understand that our students can rise to meet all sorts of challenges, but they understood the magnitude of the event that occurred about a year ago, the shootings of Parkland, and why it was important to take such a moment like that so seriously. As we turn forward, I wanted to mention for a second that we only have about 65 school days left in this school year. We're just about the tipping point of 100 school days, approaching doing 2/3 done, and we enter a space where I can call a little bit no man's land. March tends to be a period of time when students might take their foot off the gas a little bit, or we stretch into a time where students and teachers kind of settle into routine. We're very much going to fight against that here from the staff side to really push students and encourage them to do their best. And we're hoping that you can have conversations at home to ensure that they're doing that as well. And 65 days will fly very, very quickly. And for seniors, please understand that these last 65 days, you still got a lot of work to do, a lot of work to continue on the path that you've been on, to be extraordinarily proud about your accomplishments. And we're looking forward to in just a few months, celebrating with you at graduation. So that's really it for this week, Hauppauge Happenings. We will see you next week. It's likely that when AP will take over for next week's announcement. Until then, have a great week.